Ababaka ba Palamenti abatula akakiiko ka Palamenti akanoonyeza ku nsaasaanya y'ensimbi mu bitongole bya gavumenti aka Public Accounts Committee beewuunyiza nnyo alipoota ya Ssaababalizi w'ebitabo bya gavumenti bwe yakizuula nti eddwaliro ly'e Masaka libangibwa obuwumbi 2 mu ssente ez'amazzi. Ababaka beewuunya engeri eddwaliro gye likolamu emirimu gyalyo nga libangibwa ensimbi empitirivu bwe ziti era ne beewuunya engeri ssente gye zaaweramu.
Bano Masaka Regional Faro balina okuwandiikira Ministry ya Health Secretary kubanga yamanya UPDF bwe emirimu okugiteekamu ebawandiikire bababuuze nti ebyuma bino bigenda kwonooneka n'ebyuma tuzimba tebinaggwa. Then bamala okubawandiikira bawe Ministry ya Health bakopingeko UPDF Construction Brigade emanye mutugenda maaso kwa contracts ezisinga za UPDF sente baba bazifulumye n'ekyebuuzibwa lwaki bakola tebiggwa ate ebyuma bikola ne babimaliriza n'ebyamalwaliro tebikola ki tebiggwa.
If it is exposed today for maybe 200 people, it is 200. Tomorrow, maybe 3,000, 3,000. So I think how utility comes in, the issue is more of what indicative planning figure you are given, or what you have been allocated to plan within, and I think that's where the issue is.
Ababaka bakira beewuunya jo beebuuza oba mu mbalirira eyawamu eddwaliro gye liwaayo eri gavumenti babalirira amazzi gano ne bagateeka ku mbalirira ssente bwe zijja ne ziweebwayo nga era nga kino kye kyabaleetedde okwewuunyiza ddala lwaki engeri ssente zino gye zaaweramu.
And we found the machines all were put there. I again asked them in Moroto, when UPDF, for example, engineering brigade is a contractor, and when a contractor comes to your home or somebody comes to your home, do you just allow somebody to enter and do anything without you acknowledging or knowing what the reason is? We ask them, do you ask from the...
to come to the question of Honorable Bateria, yes, we have written to the ministry and we are in constant discussion of having a type C ambulance in that region because of the two bifurcation of highway and there's a lot of accidents on that.
Water bills, electricity bills.
And what we have done is we have started sending our surgeons to Monaco for 6 months, and then Mbarara is also doing that, so that we can have people who can now attend to head trauma, head injuries.
At the time of sending the service provider, what documentation does that service provider come with? Number 2, what is the responsibility of you, the recipient, the receiving entity? What is your responsibility in that contract? Because I believe when it comes to the contract management team, you are somewhere, you are part. You are part. So that's where we expect that during this reporting, you are involved, and I know when the contractor is sent to your place, even they deliver contract documents such that you can able to follow up. If they don't do, then that is a weakness. Honorable, so
si kye kyokka kizuuliddwa nti n'ebigulibwa ebirala ebyetaaga ensimbi mu ddwaliro lino nabyo bingi byali bibangibwa ng'abantu abasinga okuwa eddwaliro n'ebintu ebyokukozesa bakyabanja.
Budget allocation for payment and clearing of these domestic areas in the subsequent financial year. As the director has explained, the accumulation of these areas is primarily attributed to sustained investment in hospital infrastructure.
Indicated that this amount is largely for these utilities, and that's why I put it plainly like that. So that means I think we'll revert to the original budgeted figure of 1.3. So what was the basis, even when the previous year had indicated that you needed much more than that?
Because utilities is something that you would come out clear and say, we cannot fail to incur this cost. Why am I raising this? It is seen from here that 73 million, which was meant appropriated to you for goods and services, was paid in the cash flow outside what was given to you.
What was it paid for?
And where did you get it from? Because if you are paying from your budget, it means that whatever you have budgeted is exactly what you incur. So where did you get that money to pay? From which cost center?
Simple. Why? You members, we went together, those who were here by then. We went to visit him. We are region. Is it a hospital as well? Well, I was there. I visited that hospital, and you know the challenges around it. I don't know how far it has gone now. We saw things which are seated and they're not going on. And as a committee, we must take note, but the first answer from them, have they written to their mother ministry? UPDF, you will tell me whatever to make me happy, but me, I don't need appeasements here. You are not writing to them because you said eyes on, hands off. You are not involved in the contract. You are not involved in the directive, but you are waiting for service are completed and you start utilization. So that delay.
Wawula akulira eddwaliro lino Dr. James Erima ategeezezza Ababaka nti ssente zino okuwera kyava ku bantu abajja mu ddwaliro lino okweyongera nga si kye baali basuubira ate nga bangi balina okubakolako obwetaavu ne busukkawo ssente zino ne ziwera.
The appropriation account, which is your budget for goods and services, had 1.915 billion. You went ahead to commit and spend 2.2. That's according to the statement of financial performance.
That this amount is largely for these utilities. And that's why I put it plainly like that. So that means I think we'll revert to the original budgeted figure of 1.3. So what was the basis? Even when the previous year had indicated that you needed much more than...
Those will put pressure on the sanitary spaces, toilets and what, even the water, the electricity. So once we graduate on that, could be you can have that money put in purchase of drugs. Have you ever thought about that? Can we regulate the number of caretakers in these hospitals? Is it possible for you are practically there? Please?
Yes, Chair. One of these things is really cultural. Yes. When somebody falls sick, the entire community comes. And it is not easy to put that in absolute practice like in private hospitals. But we have been regulating, we have been giving cards, but still they pass the cards, they share it over the fence, give it back, somebody goes back to come back with it. So we shall fight it and we shall make sure.
So if it's done in a friendly way, you know, once this is exchanged by a service.
Honorable Chair and members, as already stated by my accounting officer, the budget for the non-wage has been static for almost a decade. And so budgeting for these services is based on the indicative planning figures which is given by the Ministry of Finance Planning and Economic Development. So much as we allocated money and we budget for it, the services are increasing, but the money has been static for some time. So we find ourselves in a dilemma. We budget, but actual consumption is more than the funds available.
Ku mujjuzo oguli ku ddwaliro lino Dr. Erima ategeezezza nti eddwaliro lino lirina ebitanda bitono nga ewatuukira abayi balinawo ebitanda 7 kyokka ate ewajjanjabibwa abayi balinayo ebitanda 10 byokka. Kyokka awadde Ababaka essuubi newankubadde bino biri bwe biti naye abasawo baabwe n'abajjanjabi bongedde okubabangula nga bangi batwaliddwa e Mulago okumala emyezi 6 bongerwe okubangulwa mu bukodyo bw'okulongoosaamu. Kyene Noah, William Lwanga, Beg Television.